Yesterday, Tommy and it attempted to kill Dream, although it backfired and it led to Wilbur Soot returning to the Dream SMP, and Ghostbur leaving for good. If you enjoyed any part of this video, make sure to subscribe. It's crazy how one button can change a person's life, and there are 98% of you who aren't subscribed, so make sure to subscribe. The stream was quite short, but it is only the start of something big. Wilbur returning could lead to a lot more chaos, and we already have Dream and the egg to deal with. But before I ask and answer some questions, let me explain what happened. It's the day that Tommy in it finally ends it all. He makes his way towards the tower to greet Ghostbur, Tubbo, and Ranboo. Tommy explains the plan to kill Dream by sneaking in using invisibility while Ghostbur pretends to be a visitor. The stream was very lighthearted. We got to see some funny moments as Ghostbur makes his way to the prison.
Try not to move. You're fine, Ghostbur. You're fine. You're okay.
Now, as they're making their way towards Dream's cell, Tommy pulls out his axe way too early, causing Sam to realize that someone was invisible. Tommy is then ordered to get back to the prison, but for some reason Ghostbur stays at Dream's cell. And as Sam and Tommy are arguing about the prison rules, Dream uses Ghostbur as a hostage.
I'm fucking walking over there! What are you gonna do, pussy? Oh, kill me!
Dream begins threatening to revive Wilbur if he doesn't escape. Sam ignores these threats, saying he's just a ghost. For some reason, Sam did not send the bridge to retrieve Ghostbur, and he ends up dying to the hands of Dream.
Tommy, no. You said it would be okay!
No,
Making this the second time Sam caused someone to die in the prison. After getting out of the prison, Tommy informs Tubbo and Ranboo about the bad news. Wilbur Soot has returned. Ranboo doesn't realize the danger Wilbur is to the SMP, so he doesn't care much about the news. Ranboo then caused Tommy to bring up a story about what happened when Wilbur and Tommy met in the afterlife.
And I thought he changed. Every time I thought he changed, but Ranboo, he never changes. Wilbur never changes.
They then head to the button room where Wilbur had died, to find Wilbur standing there, alive as he could be. Wilbur now had a white streak on his hair, his left arm appeared to be damaged, and we then find out Wilbur spent 13.5 years in the afterlife, when in reality, for us, it was only a couple months. Wilbur also tells us that before he returned to life, he said,
"One man, a desaturated me, came rolling into town, came rolling into my limbo." He's in my limbo. He came rolling in. His face was steaming with tears. It looked like they were burning him. I don't know. But you know who else was on that train? Who was conducting the train who let me out, Tommy?
Who was conducting it? Who?
It was Dream.
So, not a lot of things happened during the stream, but it did leave me with a lot of questions. 1. How does the SMP afterlife work? 2. Why did Sam do nothing to help Ghostbur? 3. What will Wilbur do now that he's alive? Number 1. How does the Dream SMP afterlife work? Wilbur explains that the afterlife is like a train station. The train comes and goes as people die and get revived. When the train comes to revive people, it appears as though Dream is the conductor. During the stream, Wilbur mentions how Dream was operating the train to his revival. This is because Dream is the one in possession of the revival book. But when Tommy describes the afterlife, for some reason he only sees a void. Does this mean the afterlife changes depending on a person? Similar to how we see one thing rather than the other, like an illusion? If that's the case, that's why Tommy can only see a void. But why does Wilbur see a train station? And what does Flat see? Number 2. Why did Sam do nothing to help Ghostbur? After the death of Ghostbur, I think everyone is gonna start hating on Sam. Not only did he let Ghostbur die, but he also let Tommy die. The prison could be looking for a change in management, but we won't know until the future. Now, for the reason Sam didn't let Ghostbur out is because, now hear me out, he's a bit of a racist. Now, you're probably thinking, that's stupid. What other reason can you think of him for not pushing the bridge to Ghostbur, though? If you're thinking he needed to make sure Tommy wouldn't cross, he could have just forced Tommy to go back into the prison. Now, something Sam said really shocked me. He said, he's just a ghost, not caring for Ghostbur as if he were a human life, and in the end, Ghostbur had to die. Number 3. What will Wilbur do now that he's alive? The most likely and most common answer you will see is break Dream out of prison, which is pretty obvious. But I believe Enderwalk Ranboo and Wilbur Soot will work together to break Dream out of prison. Now that Dream has 2 goons on the outside, it's pretty much inevitable for those 3 to take over the entire server. Tommy says Wilbur never changes, so Wilbur will be looking for power, and the best way to attain that power is by working with Dream and Ranboo. It appears the Dream SMP is going to be a bit more chaotic now that Wilbur's back, and I can't wait to listen to everyone's theories about what might be happening next. A fun thing that I think might happen is Wilbur finding a way to control the egg's power, but in the end we'll never know. See you guys next time, and make sure to subscribe.